get started with our invocation and pledge by Mr. Mansell.
Bow our heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this evening. Thank you for this opportunity for us to gather here this evening. Please be with us as we move forward and make these decisions. Please bless our children, bless our students, our staff, everyone involved with the school system as we move forward to the end of the year. Please keep them safe as we move through the summer as well. We ask all these blessings in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Mansell. We've got Ms. Dozier coming forward with our spotlight. We have quite a few people here with us tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
In February, the students in the PACE Lab at the Golden Isles College and Career Academy volunteered their time to renovate Habitat for Humanity's newest home build, Century Place. This project marks the organization's first self-contained community. Our students eagerly contributed by painting, sweeping floors, removing caulk, and assisting with landscaping around the exterior of the home and the driveways. Tonight, we'll hear from Mrs. Carlin Barnes, the PACE Lab instructor, and Ms. Riley Wilkes with Habitat for Humanity as they share how this partnership has benefited both our students and the organization.
Hello, thank you guys for letting us be here today. I'm Riley Wilkes, and I am here on behalf of Habitat for Humanity. We are super grateful for everything that you guys have done, especially the PES Lab and their partnership with us. We always need more volunteers, and it was really fun to be able to watch the students learn, but just really have a good time with it. So yeah, it was really fun.
Well, we've been trying to do this for years. I have anyway. Riley just came in, and thank God I finally got a hold of her. But we use some of the skills that we teach in the PACE Lab. So it's, working hard, and then being a part of this great project in the community also is extra for us. But our kids learn how they've never painted, never rolled a brush, never used a roller before. So it was a big experience for them. I mean, even opening a can of paint and being able to walk in a house and paint it freely. You can imagine that, okay? It was scary at moments, but I'd look back and I was like, oh my gosh, he had paint all over his vest. That was the word I think he was saying. I was like, holy Moses. But anyway, we would dig holes and we would move dirt. We practiced leveling it out, getting prepared for the sod to come in. So in our lab, if some of you don't know, I teach some of these skills of measuring, hammering, we saw, we build bookcases, we're doing electrical work, we're doing all kind of great tasks and working hard. So if ever you have a chance to come by and scoot and look at the PACE Lab, all of these are access students, and they come to me and we broke them up in groups. Riley worked it out. It was hard to get it worked out, but transportation, the teachers, and special ed, everybody got it, coordinated it. And our kids loved every second of it, every minute of it. They were blessed. And we were able to meet some of the owners of the homes, and they were just so thankful. And our kids, it was just a big blessing. And so we're glad it worked out. I'm glad I can share it with all of you.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate our community organizations that help partner with us to enhance the kids' learning environment. So thank you for doing that.
Up next, we have Mr. Waters here who will introduce this year's wrestling champions at both Brunswick High and Glynn Academy.
Thank you, Ms. Dozier, and very excited to come to you tonight and introduce our wrestling coaches and our wrestlers that really made their mark on the state level this year. Just a couple things about our wrestling programs. That's the fastest growing sport in Glynn County schools now. It's amazing how fast the sport is growing, not only in our high schools but also our middle schools. Whereas we used to have 8 to 12 kids per team, now we're upwards to 30 to 40 per middle school, and in our high schools around 60 per school. So the sport is really growing. Also, both of these teams finished in the top 8 of the state this year. for the second straight year. So basically, both of our wrestling programs right here in Glynn County are two really of the top 5 wrestling programs in the state of Georgia, which is amazing if you look at where we started to where we are today. And a lot of that is attributed to the great leadership we have in both of our coaching staff. So I'm going to introduce the coaches to you and let them come up and talk a little bit about their seasons. And we'll start with Brunswick High and Coach Tom Bartolotta.
I would like to thank Dr. Spence, the Board of Education, and Coach Waters for having us here tonight or this evening. I would like to thank Coach John Cano for helping out, being an assistant this year, and I'd like to congratulate Glynn Academy for finishing second in the state this past January in the state duels and having a great season. On to Brunswick High. We had a rebuilding year this year, and we took 4 wrestlers to state. You know, in previous years we had a dozen, give or take, but all 4 wrestlers that qualified placed. 3 made the state finals, 2 won individual titles, and 1 took 5th. Okay, and I'm going to introduce a senior, a 4-year letterman, Thomas Clay. Thomas finished 5th in the state and won 50 matches this year. And he's going to be going on to the University of Georgia here in the fall. Next, he's a star on the football field. He finished 2nd in the state, 5th in the state as a junior last year, River Creel. Let's give River a hand. And River is going to go to play college football and go to school at Georgia Military College in the fall. And then coming back as a senior next year, winning the state title as a junior this year, Clayton Hicks. Clayton has placed in the state all 3 years, 4th as a freshman, 5th last year as a sophomore, and finished 1st this year and is looking to repeat next year. And then finally, he's been undefeated the last 2 years. He's won his 2nd consecutive state title. He's placed 3 years in the state, 3rd, 1st, and 1st. He's the only wrestler in Glynn County history to win 4 region titles. He's a 2-time high school All-American, a national finalist a couple weekends ago, and has signed a full wrestling scholarship to go to Life University, Mr. Anthony Lowe. Thanks again, everybody.
Great job, guys. Now I'll ask Coach Alfal from Glynn Academy to come up and speak.
Thank you. I just want to say thanks to everybody. I think the biggest thing for us is this has kind of been a collective thing with our entire group. We have a tremendous buy-in from our parents. We have a great group of adults in charge of the program. And you know, it's been an amazing year. It's been an amazing 3 years. And I don't think there's really any one thing that we can pinpoint, but there's a lot of people that are doing a lot for our program, and it's been great so far. We had a historic year, lots of firsts, so much so that I had to write everything down. And we'll recognize at some point our state placers and our state champs, but I'd like to take the time to recognize every kid that came tonight because they were part of the dual meet team that made the state finals, which was a first for any program in Glynn County. You know, we finished obviously the state duels as the runner-up. You know, we tied. We actually tied. You know, in wrestling, they don't have you don't have overtime or anything like that. They go through a set of criteria. We ended up losing on criteria, you know, which was a heartbreaker. But at the same time, the kids were able to bounce back and finish off the season strong by going to the traditional state tournament with 11 state qualifiers. That's the most we've ever had as a program. 6 of those placed, which another record. We had 3 state finalists, Phil Catino, Hunter Kegley, and Marigona Lau. 2 state champs, Marigona Lau won probably the deepest weight class for the girls division, and Hunter Kegley had to beat a defending state champ to win the tournament. He actually pinned his opponent, which it was a great showing. So overall, it was a great year from the dual side and from the individual traditional side, and I'm extremely proud of this group and all the effort and all the hard work that they put in up until this point. And I think it's only going to get better. And I just want to say how grateful I am for the support that we've been getting from everybody, from you guys, from our building administrators, Mr. Blackstone, Coach Parker. They've been tremendous, and for Steve Waters helping us with the vision that we have for our program. So it's been a tremendous 3 years, and it's been a great year, and we're looking forward to more. So to look at call up our state champs, Marigona Lau, first girl state champ ever. Hunter Kegley. Our state placers are Ryan Alfal. Phil Catino's not here tonight. He was a state runner-up.
He's here.
Is he here?
He's still here.
Awesome. AJ Waters. And then I'd like to recognize the other young men that they were a tremendous part of the program and the success this year, and big contributors to the overall growth that we've had up until this point. You have Liam B. Kyler Kegley's here, he's freshman. Bennett Sams. Harvin Bruce. Mitch Weaver. Caleb Cross. Aiden Mills. Jimmy Walden. And believe it or not, he's a freshman, Cooper Reese. And one last thing, I would like to thank the coaching staff as well, because they put in a tremendous amount of time with these young men and young women. Coach Wakeland, Coach Ciccone, and Coach Kegley. Anybody else here? Coach Haley Vincent, or Haley Baumgartner, she just got married. Does a great job with our girls program. So overall, it's a great group of people and a great group of leaders for our kids. Appreciate everything.
Before y'all go,
We'll get the coaches in a picture real quick.
were you gonna talk more?
Can you get them? Oh, we got to get them in the hallway. Okay. Before y'all leave, we'll get a picture. Laid off, guys.
All right, as y'all are organizing for your picture, I just want to say that I've been witnessing Glynn County wrestling for, I don't know, how many years, 7 or maybe 8 years. I see the Brunswick guys, I know all of them, and I've seen them, in all of their efforts throughout the years. And of course, I know this group because I've got one of the guys over there as my son. And I just want to say, these guys and girls put in so much work. I know all student athletes put in a lot of work, but I feel like wrestling, you get on that mat and you go toe-to-toe with the person across from you, and you may be shaking in your boots, or you may be as confident as you can be, and you get on that mat, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but you don't walk away from it. You hang in there and you do the best you can, and I see that happening every day, and all the work that they put in, even throughout the year now. So I want to recognize that it takes a lot of work from the coaches, a lot of time running. The people that run our wrestling clubs put in time outside the season. So I think just on behalf of the board, I want to say thank you to all these student athletes for what you bring to Glynn County.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say, it's just tremendous how wrestling has grown in Glynn County. You know, I remember when, growing up here, wrestling was just figment of our imagination, except those times at old Jane Macon when you'd have Jimmy Superfly Snuka jumping off the top rope. But congratulations, this is so exciting for our school system. I mean, all of y'all are doing a tremendous job. Thank you.
All right. Again, thank you to everybody that came to tonight's meeting to show support. We'll move on through the agenda now. We did not have anybody sign up in our citizens address the board portion of the agenda. So I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented tonight.
So moved.
Second. A motion by Dr. Yergin and a second by Ms. Gibbons. All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda? It's unanimous. Thank you. Okay, as far as our consent agenda goes, I'll include item number 7, approval of the March 7th, 2024 work session meeting minutes. Item 8, approval of the March 12th, 2024 regular board meeting minutes. Item 9B, field trips. Item 9C1, GOOD report. Item 9D1, approval of the February 2024 financials. Item 9D2, approval of the St. Simon's Elementary Phase 5 furniture. 9D3, approval of the annual access control security camera support. 9D4, approval of the computer refresh. 9D5, approval of the Satilla Marsh Elementary classroom furniture. 9D6, approval of the Greer Elementary intercom replacement. 9D8, approval of the Brunswick High School west entrance and driveway, guaranteed maximum price. 9D10, approval of the CTAE surplus. 9D11, approval of the surplus equipment. And 9E, we don't really have any policy at all. 9E will include that as well. All of these items were discussed in our work session this past Thursday. Does anyone have any further discussion on these items or additions or deletions to the list? All right. With no discussion or changes to our consent agenda items, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. So moved. A motion by Ms. Gibbons.
Second.
A second by Mr. Madala. All those in favor of approving the items on the consent agenda? It is unanimous. Thank you. Okay, so that'll take us to, let's see, 9D7, approval of the BOE renovation Phase 2 guaranteed maximum price. Just thought I'd give a chance for anybody to ask any questions on that. Again, that was reviewed in our work session last week.
So it was $7,688, $7,688,769.56, and that covers the remaining 3 wings as well as the front awning. And the one thing it does not include yet is the parking lot, which we hope to have by next month.
All right, any questions for Mr. Blackerby? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the board office renovation Phase 2 guaranteed maximum price. So be it. Motion by Ms. Gibbons.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Edgy. All those in favor of approval? It is unanimous. And we have 9D9, approval of the ESPLOST 5 proposal. I know when we were in our work session last week, we talked about we reviewed the project list, but also talked about how we were going to set forth with the ESPLOST on the referendum as far as the limits.
On the recommendation, we modified the recommendation with a statement that says the $114,600,000 to include a 48-month time period.
Okay.
Now, that being said, we'll probably reach the 114.6. If the averages stay the same, we will probably reach it within 40 months. It's kind of a gamble. It just kind of depends on how the economy's doing.
So it's the first to occur,
Yes.
either the quarter you reach the 104,600,000 or 48 months?
Right.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that?
And to reaffirm, the 114.6, whenever y'all came up with the number, with all the projects included a little bit of a fluff range for
Yes.
possible inflation.
Yes, we used our most current pricing that we're getting on our projects right now. Plus, we added, depending on the type of project, we added up to 15% onto those just to cover that. One other, I guess, cushion that's built into it that's not reflected on the budget sheet is Goodyear, Greer, and Sterling, well, and the Glynn Academy auditorium renovation. All of those are eligible for capital outlay applications. So built into that, if the application went through and were approved, we would have roughly an additional probably $8 million to feed into those 4 particular projects.
So we look back at what inflation had done in the past, and we tried to project what we think might happen if it stays consistent.
It's hard to necessarily project, but using the pricing over the last 12 to 18 months of things that we have, I don't, going back to 2020, and we saw 35% inflation on some of our construction costs, that gap has narrowed down as far as I don't anticipate us continuing to see that reoccurring inflation over the next few years. Things have leveled out and are a little more predictable at this point.
All right, any further discussion, questions? Okay, we'll move forward, but I'll entertain a motion to approve the ESPLOST 5 proposal as presented tonight with the terms of ending at 114,600,000 or 48 months, whichever comes first.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Yergin, a second by Ms. Gibbons. All those in favor of approving as presented? Mr. Mansell, your hand went up, right? Unanimous. Thank you. All right. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel. Or I'll make the motion. I'll make it myself.
I'll second.
Okay, second by Mr. Reggie. All those in favor? It's unanimous at 6:23.
Let's do it.
I'll entertain a motion to re-enter the open meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Halsey, second by Ms. Gibbons, to reopen our meeting. All right, so,
We got to
all
vote.
in favor, yes, sorry, let's vote on that. It's unanimous at 6:55. All right, so we're going to vote to approve the personnel as discussed in executive session.
So moved.
Mr.
Second.
Mansell with a motion to approve the personnel report,
Second.
second by Ms. Gibbons.
I made the motion, it's all right.
Oh.
You just ignored me.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. Go
Okay,
ahead.
all those in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, and then we have a workers' comp settlement that was discussed in our work session,
Move we approve.
executive session.
Second.
Move to approve by Mr. Halsey and second by Mr. Mansell. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Move to adjourn.
And Mr. Yergin presents a motion to adjourn the
Second.
meeting. Second by Mr. Halsey. All those in favor? It's
Aye.
unanimous. 6:56.